You know, I'm yet to read the report, maybe from any of the ministers of education, saying this is why students are leaving. These are the specific things that they get there. These are things that we think we can do to ensure that we keep them here, given the amount of money we spend on education in Africa alone, let alone in Europe or the rest of the world. But I'm just wondering, would you recommend, because I mean, as the environment is different in different parts of the country, the housing needs are different in different parts of the country, should we have a national strategy for education, or do we let states come up with tailored strategy for education, but then we all say, well, these are some of the key things we want to achieve nationally, so let different states come up with a strategy, but you must feed into this. What should we do?
I think the second suggestion you have, recommendation, actually will work. Have a national strategy, then have the states have some autonomy where they rule and do what they're doing in there, but still keying to the national framework. It's worked in a lot of countries, and I know it will work here. Giving everybody different rules, it will have a lot of disjointed, and it won't be really good for our students. That national framework, that structure, that uniformity, we're one nation. No matter what, we should never lose sight of that. We're one nation. So we should have that uniformity, but still give an autonomy to each of the states, because like you correctly said, the terrain and what's going on in each of the states is different, but still have that national standards that we should all buy
Because, you know,
into.
when you say some of those countries that have moved the education system from not a very good state to an appreciable state now, some who emphasize on science, technology, engineering, mathematics, technical education, because this country have different regions who can do different things. So that's why I ask. So should we emphasize, say, well, we have technical schools, technical colleges, health, science. Shouldn't we identify some of those areas and feel, well, certain universities should only be in this area and then have different models, but then we'll still go ahead and develop?
I believe that will work. I was reading a report about Korea, South Korea, and one of the things they're really pushing and driving a lot more are the technical colleges, because who are the people who are going to feed their industries where they create these phones? Are the people, the manpower who come out from these technical colleges. So they've identified that that's a need that they have. I believe that that's a need we have to. We need to start creating more manufacturing jobs. And in order for us to do that, we need to equip the students who are going to be able to do that. So we need to start feeding them off and building them right in secondary school, then feeding them off to these technical colleges where they will be trained, and then from there they will now segue into those jobs, those industries where they will carry out those tasks. So yes, there are certain areas. I know you're thinking of the Southeast, and I'm really hoping that we're going to see a renaissance in that area.
If we have to go the way of looking at the regions, the northern region will strike your mind very easily, because reports have come through to identify the north as the least educated region in the country, and that seems to be a major concern for a lot of people, and perhaps even a risk to the country as a whole. What would you say went wrong? Because I know that there are very bright minds that came out from the north in the past, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, up till, and have actually advanced and you know, progressed to enviable heights in their different fields. With this kind of challenge that we face in the northern part of the region, how do we tackle? What do you think we should do to tackle encouraging more students to get into schools? Like the Sokoto State Governor now is trying to enroll 1.4 million children into schools again.
That's an enviable task. It is, and it's going to take a lot of work. When you are trying to undertake projects like that, I like to look at precedents. That's what happened in the past, and build upon that moving forward. I believe they should remind the students there and the people there that a lot of what we do in science and mathematics actually came from the Middle East, in Arabic countries. So that's an enviable history. They should build upon that and remind themselves that, look, this is the kind of lustrous past that we had, and there's nothing stopping us from being there. And it still comes back to that mindset shift. There needs to be a lot of restructuring working with the parents, working with the students. A lot of things have happened, unfortunately, negatively there, that have made this shift from empowering and building your minds to now being very, very laissez-faire about education. A lot of that needs to change.